Hi, this is Deborah at Dinglefoot Scrapbooking, and this week I'm going to show you how to make a really beautiful sunburst pattern for your cards. I'm sure you've seen a lot of cards made that way, so I decided to do that for the project this week. So I have my card background. It's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches and folded in half. And then I have this piece of cardstock, and this is what I'm going to be mounting the sunburst to this piece right here. This is 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then the next important part you need are 8 rectangles, and these are 4 inches by 2 inches, so you need to cut 8, and 3 to 4 different paper patterns are what works best for this, just so we can alternate the colors, but you can do it whatever way you want, however many colors you want. If you want them all different, go for it, that works too. So we need 8 of these, and then we're going to cut them diagonally so we have triangles, so just corner to corner, and so you'll have 16 triangles like this. So those are the pieces I need for the sunburst, and then otherwise I have this little tag that I made, so that's just going to go in the middle to cover up where all those points come together. And I have some ink in my ink blending tool, and I'm just going to be going over the edges of my triangles, and I also did my tag there. And I have some glue, of course, and then I have a ruler. Now you're going to want to decide on this piece right here where you want your sunburst to come from. You can do it right from the middle, so you just draw a line, measure from the middle down, and the middle across, and just make a line with your ruler and pencil. I kind of like mine to come from a different place, so I'm going to, this does not even need to be even, you don't need it to be in the middle. I'm actually going to make my line to the side a little bit. Make a line straight down there, and then I'm going to make my sunburst come from this lower point down here. So I'll just draw a line where I want it to meet. And before I start gluing anything, I'm just going to take my ink tool here and dip it in my ink. And I'm just going to do the sides of all of these pieces. And that's just going to add a little bit of dimension when everything's glued down. So I'll take a minute to get those done, and I'll be right back. I have the edges of my triangles inked, and now I'm just going to take them and start laying them out. I'm going to do half of the card, just arrange them the way I want them, and then glue them down, and then I'll finish the rest. So we want to take the first one and just have that corner meet and have it lay flat along that line that you drew. So you can see that there. I'm just going to start laying them out, alternating my colors. None of these are going to overlap. Just going to go right around the circle and just stick those little tips of my triangle right against that line. So you're just going to go right around your card and start laying them out. And you can see that sunburst pattern already. So I'm going to keep going right around like this. And I'm just laying them out, just making sure I had everything the way it should be. And then I'll glue this part down. And I'll come back and finish the other half. Okay. So now that I can see that they fit the way that they should, I'll need to arrange them, of course, again as I glue, but half of your triangles should go on that half of the pattern. Okay, so we want that nice even line. We want these two to be straight across so that it actually looks like the sunburst. So I'll take a minute to glue these down, and I'll be right back. I have all my triangles glued on the first half of my card topper, and then I laid these out the way that they would go on. So I'll show you. I'm just going to take my glue stick, I'm actually just going to cover this whole bottom part with the glue. Then all I need to do is go right around. Try not to stick my fingers in the glue there. Okay. Just going to complete my pattern. So this is really simple. It's a lot simpler than it looks. And of course when we're done with this, we're going to have to trim off all those extra pieces. And they're kind of neat too because you can use them for other projects when you're finished. I like to keep my scraps so I can make other things. Just trying to get that knot to slide there. Okay, so we're almost done. There's our last piece. I'm going to have to grab my paper cutter, so now it looks like we have this gigantic pinwheel. Let's see if I can get under here to pick it up. Looks like a gigantic pinwheel, but of course, when you turn it over, you have your plain little piece of cardstock back there. So our next step is to take a paper cutter or a pair of scissors and just trim all these extra pieces off, and then you'll have that beautiful pattern left on the front. I think just because my glue is still a little bit wet, I think I'm going to do this with my scissors. So I'm just going to cut, and I'm not going to cut quite to the edge there because I want to finish it up really nicely with my paper cutter. So I'm just going to start cutting these just a little bit out from the edge. To finish this up nicely, I'm just going to run it through my paper trimmer just to make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, and then when we turn it over, we have that beautiful design that you see on so many cards now. And we're going to cover up that little center part with our tag. So I'm just going to glue this right on the front of my card and just finish it up really fast after you get that sunburst part done. This will go right on the front. All I need to do is take my tag that I made earlier, and I'm going to use a Zot to pop it up. Just put that right over the center of my sunburst, and this card is finished. Thanks so much for watching.